okay? You over there?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay, so we know all our headsets are working. We can hear each other.
1, 2, 3, check.
I've got you loud and clear. Strange. Okay. All right, we can go ahead and you can go ahead and shut your window now. Just pull it closed. Oh, you did it right. Yep, there you go. And just turn it. There you go. Good. Okay, 436 on the altimeter. Our current heading is, what is that, 048?
I say so.
So, 048. And the GPS is warmed up. That's warmed up. Clear on the right side, clear on the left side. Go ahead and bring the flaps up. So just flip that handle up and it'll automatically go up.
Flaps full, right?
All the way up, that's right.
There we go.
Good. Alright, I'm going to release the brakes. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to check my brakes. So once again, clear on the right side, clear on the left side.
Should I check too?
I'm going to get it moving first. So the reason we do this is we're just going to bring it up nice and slow. And see how I just gently touch my brakes. So you go and put your feel on your brakes. Alright, and so just release them a little bit. Let the airplane start to roll, and then tap them again. Good. So you feel that your brakes are working, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we're going to do the taxi together. So we want to turn to the right. So we're just letting the airplane gently turn to the right using the right pedal. As the airplane starts to move, we're going to come back on the power. And just like a road, we're going to look to the right and look to the left.
And right again.
Yep. No traffic.
New Garden experimental gyro is turning base for 24 in New Garden.
New Garden, traffic, can I get a mic check 123.05? Apparently that guy can't hear us too well.
I'm clear 2305.
Thanks. Okay, so we're just following that center line all the way down. As we go down the hill, we can pull the power back to idle, and we'll actually just start smoothly touching those brakes just to keep the airplane from going too fast. That's annoying. And what this is down here, we call this our run-up pad. So this is where we're going to do the engine run-up. Make sure that everything that we have in the airplane is working fine today. Good. Now we're coming over to the left side, so just a little bit of power as we come through the turn. And then, of course, we can use the left brake like this to help tighten the airplane's turn up a little bit, just like that. And then straighten it out. There we go. So we're nice and straight now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the run-up. It's pretty straightforward. In this airplane, we're just making sure that everything is working fine the way it should.
Yes.
So before we get started, we're going to check the flight controls. So take your thumb and put it straight up on just one of the controls, and then point, and whichever way your thumb's pointing, that control should be up. And then to the right. Okay, that one's up. And then point back, look behind us.
No, not. You gotta look at it.
That one's up, and then left rudder.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Right rudder. Good. Good. These guys have a stuck mic.
Who is it, anyways? Matt Chapman?
No, that's... Oh, Jesus. You know those guys in the auto gyro, that yellow one that took off?
Yeah.
That's them. So we're just going to turn them off for now. They're making too much noise. Okay, so because what happens is as you get older, you don't realize that you're pushing the mic button. So they just keep holding it down.
This is the mic button right here.
That's how we would talk on the radio, yep. But since we have it turned off. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring the power up now. We're going to test the engine. So we're bringing it up to about 1700 RPM. So obviously we're holding those brakes. 1600, 1700. There we go. And the first thing we're going to check...
Mag check.
Mag check, exactly. So 1, 2, we're on the right mag, checking the left side. I'm showing about 100 RPM drop, that's within limits. 2 clicks back. 1 click. Still about 100 RPM drop, looking good there. Go ahead and pull the carb heat.
Where's the carb heat?
And we should hear an RPM drop with that one, all the way out. There you go. And then back in. Good. And then the last thing we do is we have our 2 electrical gauges over here. And I'm just going to bring the landing light on, and we should see a slight spike on the ammeter. Very slight. Good. Alright, so they're all working. Power comes back nice and smooth. They're still hogging the frequency. Okay, so at this point, we've done all our checks. Transponder goes to altitude. Landing lights on. And brakes release. So we're good to go. Clear left, clear right, going straight. And the trim is in the takeoff position. Looking good to go.
Watch out for them birds.
Oh yeah, I've hit many a bird. Figure in traffic, red, white Cessna 150 is taking the active 2-4 for departure at New Garden.
Oshkosh style.
Yep. Okay, up we go. Alright, you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Let's get out of here.
Experimental gyro, I think you had your mic button pressed for the last few minutes.
Okay, so all we're going to do is we're going to keep the yoke just about here, and you're going to notice that once we get to about 55, 60 knots, the nose is going to lift itself up, just like that.
Rotate.
That's it, and away it goes. Okay, so we're climbing out at about 65 knots is the goal right now.
You have it.
I've got it, yeah. So you see we're at 65, looking good. About 500 foot per minute, looking good there. The only traffic we see is that gyro that's up there.
Yep, I see him.
He's no factor. New Guard traffic, red, white Cessna's on the right turnout will be VFR to the northwest, New Guard. And we're on a right turnout, perfect. And you see that we're just heading out in this area out here, so.
Okay.
Good, so we'll just go ahead and straighten out right here. Very good. Okay, so I'm going to let you fly the airplane. Just keep us climbing here at 65 knots. You're doing a good job. And it's all, the name of the game for this is just smooth, small control inputs. Not much to it. Especially when the airplane's in trim.
Pretty bumpy out today.
Yeah, today's actually pretty smooth.
Probably hit a thermal or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Good. And make sure that when we're looking at the gauges, we're also looking outside as well to make sure we don't see any airplanes or anything like that.
Any headings I need to hold or anything or
No,
not?
you're on a perfect heading right now. Looking good, looking good. See how smooth it's getting now?
1,250.
Yep.
Oh, I'm doing even 500 feet up.
Yeah.
That's the climb rate, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're shooting for airspeeds today, so whatever 65 knots gets us. When you're alone in the airplane, you might get a couple extra 100 foot per minute. When you got full fuel and it's really, really hot out, it might only do 300 foot per minute, just because the engine doesn't like being that high and that hot.
Yep.
Very, very nice. Really smooth day.
Sure is.
You can see some low-lying clouds out in that direction. Nothing really to be too concerned about. Looking nice.
Yeah, that's not a ceiling, right?
Exactly. A ceiling is only broken or bigger. Broken or better.
There's a few, right?
Yeah, that's why I would say fewer, widely scattered. Okay, so we're in the practice areas now. Go ahead and get a feel for the airplane. You can practice some turns here, whatever you need.
Always try and reverse it with right rudder, right?
So what we're going to do is actually just a little bit of left rudder right now. So just a little bit.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's touchy, isn't it? Right about there. Yeah, so see, you actually have a little bit of opposite aileron in to help keep it from turning too much.
Can't hear it. Oh, there we go. Yellow bank turns, right?
Yep. just to start. Let's go ahead and try one to the right. So the first thing we do, look to the right side, no airplanes coming, looking good. And just a little bit of right rudder. There you go.
Turning clean.
Looking good, man, doing a really nice job.
I do Flight Simulator all the time.
There you go. It does help. Although this is a lot different and a lot better.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Go ahead and straighten it out here. Very, very nice. Good. Just keep practicing here. Do what you need to do.
Should I do some more turns if I want? Or?
Yeah, it's your airplane.
I'm gonna do a turn around a point. Let's see. I don't know which point I'm turning around, but I'm turning around a point.
I agree with that. So what we're actually pivoting around right now pretty much is that barn down there.
Yep.
Now we're starting to get pushed into the wind a little bit, so we're going to start to cut in towards the barn just because that wind is shoving us towards it. Very nice.
Let's follow a road, shall we?
Sure, by all means.
All roads lead somewhere. Let's see where this road leads. Hope it leads to another turn.
Good. And when we're following a road, it's important to make sure we're also looking outside to make sure other airplanes aren't following that same road. They definitely can.
Never know what happens with VFR.
Yeah, that's right. It's all see and avoid.
A little steep.
That's fine. Very good. Good. So actually what we're going to do next now is we're going to practice a steep turn. Once we get comfortable here. Okay. So I'm going to do one steep turn, and then you're going to do one steep turn. How's that sound? So we're going to get ourselves feeled out. So we're going to level off here at 2,100 feet. You're going to follow me through, okay? So we're going to go to the right side. So first of all, any airplanes to the right?
I don't see any.
Good. So we're going to roll in smoothly, right rudder, right aileron, just like this. And we're going to put it into a 45-degree steep turn, just like this.
Woohoo!
Yeah, there it goes.
Yeehaw!
And we're just coming around the horizon here. Looking good, looking good. And this is our max performance turn here for this airplane, pretty much.
That's pretty maxed.
Yeah. Good. And then as we come back to our heading here, we'll roll back out. Let's go to the left side. So keep going to the left. You're going to set it right about here. Good. And just hold it right there. So look out the front of the airplane and just make sure that that horizon line is not moving. Good. So just like that. A little bit steeper. And just a little more back pressure. So pull back just a hair. There you go. See how we feel heavy now? That's what we're shooting for.
G-force.
That's right. So our nose is just a little low, so shallow it out just a little bit. Perfect. And bring the nose up. Not bad at all.
I just want to make sure I'm not going knife edge, that's all.
Yeah, that would not be good in this airplane. Okay, good. And did you feel that little bump that we hit?
Oh yeah.
Do you know what that bump was?
Thermal.
That was actually our own wake turbulence. So that was our own turbulence that we made. So we flew through the exact same point as we started. So that looked really good. Very nice. Okay. So we've got those down pat, at least to start. See if we can figure out, there's no real wind up here. I was going to say we could try and make the airplane go backwards, but there's no real wind.
What do you mean by backwards? Are
So
we have 22?
If we slow it down to like 30 knots or 40 knots, and there's 40 knots of wind up here, it would actually push the airplane backwards.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is, let's try slow flight. So pull the carpet out. And I'm going to start reducing some power here.
Try not to get into a stall.
Oh, it's okay. This airplane's pretty docile. And we're going to roll in some flaps, so you're going to feel the nose want to lift itself. All we're doing is releasing pressure. Here we are at 30 degrees of flaps. As the speed starts to get slow now, you're going to start to hear that stall horn. I'm just giving it a little bit of right rudder. Bring it back to about 2,000 RPM. And now if you look down, we're hardly moving.
Banner towing.
Isn't that pretty cool?
Yep.
So there's our stall horn. That's starting to warn us that we're getting, hey, we're pretty close to a stall. You might want to think about some form of recovery, right?
Yeah.
And of course, the main recovery is going to be lower the nose is the first thing. And you hear how the stall horn immediately goes away?
Yeah.
Because we're unloading that wing. So that's our first step. If we add power, take a look. So we're sitting here, get the stall horn back right about here. And if I just add power, remember how quickly we got rid of the stall horn by lowering the nose?
Yeah.
If I add power, it doesn't go away. So what's the biggest thing to help break a stall, would you say?
Nose down. Whee!
Yep, there you go. So as soon as we do that, it gets away from its stall. But let's say we're negligent, and we get rid of power. Car peats out. Pull the flaps up too, because the first stalls are always pretty nice and stable here. And all we're going to do is do a nice clean stall.
Power off or power on?
Power off. That's all we'll do today. And we're just holding altitude at 2,200 feet. Smoothly bringing it back. There goes our first warning. You'll get a second one here. It'll get a little louder. That. So, we just lower the nose was the first thing. Power comes in. Carpeat comes in. And see how the airplane's already just pulling its nose back up?
Yep.
And we're climbing out of it.
Woohoo!
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I was actually more worried than I thought.
It's not too bad, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Go ahead and you have the airplane. Give me a right-hand turn. We're going to head away from these clouds for a little bit.
Shallow bank, right?
Shallow, yeah, this is a nice turn.
Horizon.
And it's medged, right? Medged?
Meshed.
Medged.
Or you can call me JD, which is my call sign.
JD.
Yes.
Nice. Shallow, we'll straighten out here. Okay. Anything that you have in mind that you would like to practice today that you're like, oh, I think that would be really cool? Or do you just want to explore around a little bit? That's fine too.
I'm just going to get used to the Cessna 150 a bit.
That's by all means. Go ahead and do that.
Dude, I'm going to do another steep turn. Those are fun.
Yeah, we can do those. Good. Now the nose is starting to drop a little bit, so just don't forget that back pressure. There you go. So we want to make it a steep turn, not a steep descending turn.
Yep.
Like a steep spiral. You can do those once you get to commercial. We all have to do them.
About how many G's are we pulling right now?
Probably about 1.5.
Awesome.
So eventually your body just kind of gets used to it and doesn't feel it.
Getting used to it now, I think.
You're doing actually a very good job. You haven't even lost really 50 feet. So, very impressive for your first time. Alright, good. So you can definitely feel those rudder inputs. And a good trick to practice with those is if you go and take your feet completely off the rudder. So, if we try and turn the airplane without using the rudder, the first turn is okay, but if we try and turn the other direction, the nose will actually go opposite of what we tell it to do.
Yep.
So if I turn to the left, if I turn to the right, the nose will actually go left. So, see how it swings left?
Woo!
So, and you hear all that weird noise that comes off the prop. That's
Yep.
that's when we lose our coordination. So once again, if we turn to the left and then turn to the right, nose swings to the left. We call that adverse yaw. And that's basically just saying is, when we make lift, we make drag, right?
Yeah.
So if I turn to the left, and then I turn to the right, that wing is making more lift, and when it makes more lift, it makes more drag, and it pulls it back. So once again, one to the left, so everything's happy, and then that wing's making lift, there's the drag, yanks it back. So how do we fix that? We've got rudder. So if we go left pedal, left aileron, right pedal, right aileron, there's no yawing there. See how it's just pivoting now?
Yeah.
Good. And that's the goal. So when we turn into a right-hand turn, we do both, bring it out a little bit, and everything's happy. So you go ahead and practice. Let's try one to the left. So just left and left. There you go. And then bring it out. Good. And now bring me back to the right. Very nice. And we'll fly away from the sun. Just because it's so bright.
I have my aviators on.
Nice. So what do you think? Do you want your job to be a pilot?
Oh yes.
Okay.
I live for this.
Yeah. And that's the best?
Yep.
I haven't worked a day in my life, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, it's just kind of fun.
And you get a lot of cash once you're actually...
Yeah.
J pilots don't really get that much, I heard.
Yeah, that is the thought. Okay, though. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody has to do it. That's balanced. Good. Okay, so we're going to start making our way back. We're going to go in and do probably 1 or 2 landings, and then go from there. Time goes pretty quickly while we're up here. So we're about 15 miles from the field, so let's go start a shallow left-hand turn. Nicely done today. Really, really good job.
Thank you.
That headset, I feel like it's about to fall off your head. It's so far forward. Move it back. Like, there you go. That should feel a little better. And a lot less heavy on your head. It is?
It is, yeah.
Good.
I have a big head, so I can...
Me too. I feel you. Okay. So the airport's at about 10 o'clock over there, so keep coming a little more. I forgot that I did not give you any direction where we're going.
Setting the GPS or not really?
Not really. I mean, we're visual at this point.
I can... That's it, right there.
Yeah, right there. New Guard traffic, red, white Cessna's about 10 to the north of the field. We'll be entering on a 45 for left downwind, 24 New Guard. We'll be remaining in pattern.
It's 372 Delta Bravo just overflew the field at 1,500 feet. We'll be looking for you.
Are you northbound, sir?
We're southeast, heading south-southeast.
Okay, yeah, you shouldn't be a factor.
Just sightseeing there.
Okay, so that was the Cirrus that just took off, and he said he'd be looking for us.
Okay.
But he's headed that way, so he should, and the airport's already in front of us, so he's heading away from us, south-southeast.
I see the airport.
Good, so you see the big green strip out there?
Yep.
Good. Looking good, looking good. So we'll probably go ahead and do 2 landings, sound good?
Yes, am I gonna land there? Or
So I'll probably do the first one, and then just to kind of show you how we land it, and then we'll do the second one together.
Awesome.
Go ahead and reduce some power, bring it back to like 2,200 RPM. There you go, just like that. And now yep, that's good. And just allow the airplane to descend.
We'll be entering left downwind for 13, full stop with line.
I actually do patterns at this airport a lot on Flight Simulator.
Really?
Yep.
Pretty tricky.
Pretty steep drop-off, actually.
Yeah.
Even though I do have to say, I actually prefer controlled airports, but this is really good.
VZ north, 1.1. We're on the east side of the stanchion.
Are we going to be going to any controlled airports in our training?
Oh, yeah. Yep, Wilmington, Lancaster, Easton, a whole bunch of different ones. That's the goal.
Oh yeah, actually, let me tell you a story. I was in a Young Eagles, and my pilot wanted to see me do the ground controlling part of it.
Yeah.
And I actually said it completely correctly.
Good.
I was flying in a Gobosh that day.
Oh, the Gobosh. I have not been in that one yet.
This one's a lot better though.
Do you like this one?
Yeah. I love my Cessnas.
Yeah, they're cool.
Where's the airport again? Oh. I see it. Turn up with the pattern.
And you got another float about a mile south of the U-station, 1.1.
I'm maintaining, nope, I'm not maintaining 22,000.
Well, yeah, as we speed up, the RPMs drop a little bit. Good, so I'll take it from here. You're going to take a break. I'm going to bring us in for a landing once, and then we're going to do one together. Sound
Awesome.
good? New Garden traffic, Cessna 63524 is on a crosswind 24 in New Garden.
Oh wow, there's a quarry over there.
Yep, and that's very easy to see from wherever we are. So it's a nice way to find the airport.
Not fun if you're over on the runway though.
Right. New Garden traffic 63524 is on a downwind 24 New Garden. Okay. Four landing checks. Mixture's rich. Car beat's coming on. And we are downwind.
Oh, I'm happy I actually got to fly today.
Me too. I was nervous when I saw those storms, but then you guys came anyway, and I was really happy.
Yeah, I was like getting pretty shaken up about the whole storm thing because I love flying.
Super copy, left downwind, runway 13, woodbine. Smoky down traffic, 6 uniform, 4 miles to the west. Inbound landing, Smoky down.
Smoke down, isn't there a flying there?
There is, the Smoketown flying. Okay, so we're coming up to the end of the runway, so at this point we go power back to 1500 RPM. So just like that, flaps going into 20. We're in the white arc. So I'm looking out at my flap gauge right there. We're at 20 degrees, looking good. And now just allowing the airplane to slowly descend. We're looking for about 65 knots here.
Yeah.
New Garden traffic. Red, white 150s on a base, 24 New Garden.
Base of
Final approach is clear, no airplanes coming, that looks good.
Buttermilk northbound, Swift.
New Garden traffic, red, white 150s, turn and a half mile, final 24 New Garden, we'll be touch and go.
Oh yes, a touch and go. I've always wanted to do one of those.
Alright, airport's all lined up. And now we're just using that power to help bring us down. So we're just smoothly reducing the power here. We're nice and high, that way if we lost the engine, we'd still make the airport.
Engine failure for the helipad.
Plenty of energy, we're going to bring the power all the way out now. Flaps come up. Power comes in, nose wheels down now. And same thing, at about 55 knots, the airplane rotates itself, just like that. And we're on the go. New Garden traffic, red, white Cessna's on the go, 24 New Garden will be left close traffic. That's all there is to it. Well, I say that, but...
Yeah. Nothing to it though.
Nothing to it. Well good, we're going to put that theory to the test. Alright, so this time you're going to be following me through here. So go ahead and throw your feet and hands on the controls. We're going to do this one together. Sometimes we take a look out the back window to make sure that we're still lined up with our runway. Because if we start turning into either direction, we could enter different parts of the pattern, and we don't want to do that.
Yep.
New Garden traffic, red, white Cessna's on a crosswind, 24 New Garden will be full stop. New Garden traffic, red, white Cessna's joining the downwind, 24 New Garden. Now what speed should we be climbing at, do you remember?
65.
65 is right.
What's maneuvering speed anyways?
94 or 95 in this airplane.
I was watching Sporty's ground school and they told me to always maneuver at maneuvering speed.
Yep, because at maneuvering speed, the airplane will stall before it brakes. So if I went full stick back at maneuvering speed, the airplane would just stall. But if you were above maneuvering speed, you might break something.
Yep.
So that's the thought process behind maneuvering speed. Good, we're almost at our pattern altitude. These 150s, they don't climb too fast. Unless you're solo, then they're pretty good. We're pretty much going to hit the end of the runway and then go straight back down. Okay, so remember we go carpet on for the landing, so go ahead and pull that one out. Good, now I'm going to reduce the power now to 1500. And if you can, use the flaps, bring them down to 20 degrees. So just hold it down for about 6 or 7 seconds and you should see 20. Very good. Okay, allow the nose to come down, let it descend. You can see there's not much to it, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty much flying itself. This is where the simulators don't quite get it right. We'll start our base turn here. New Garden traffic, red, white, Cessna's base, 24 New Garden. Mike, you think you can make the last radio call? So just we're
Final.
Red, white, Cessna's final, 24.
Alright. Tell me one.
Okay. Right about now.
New Garden traffic, red and white Cessna is on final for 24.
Very good. Okay, so we're just slowly lining up with this runway now, doing a good job. Good. So we'll straighten it out once we get here to the runway. There you go, go ahead and straighten it out. Perfect. Put in 30 degrees of flaps now. We're at our 65 knots, looking good. Good. Now we just start smoothly bringing the nose up right about
there.
Nice. I'll just let it wheelie down the runway. You can see it drops a little quick, so just make sure we're ready for that flare. But not bad.
Thank you. Should I put my window up too?
Yeah, sure. That way it's not super hot in here. There's a gopher.
Going too for grass.
Yeah, right?
That's what John and Court like to do.
Yeah. New Garden traffic, red, white, Cessna's clear the active, 24 New Garden. Turn that off so we don't have to listen to it. Alright, so what do you think? First lesson done.
Terrific.
Terrific, right?
Love it.
I'm glad you like it.
I can't wait till I get my ATP done, then I can not work a day in my life, yet still have a lot of money and have fun.
Isn't that the truth?
Oh yeah, what's your highest rating right now?
I am a commercial pilot, CFI, CFII, MEI.
Awesome.
So eventually the MEI, or the ATP, but I'm not really in any rush. Good enough. Okay. And if you could, just go ahead and pull the mixture. Pull the button too. Alright, so one thing we want to make sure we do is when we shut it down.
Yeah.
So push that button in, you pull it, and don't turn the key until the engine stops. That way if there's any fuel left in there, it'll burn it all off. And then the key out, master off. Grab the master, there you go.